Hello, 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 all of you beautiful nerds from around the world. Welcome to another edition of Fan Chats Live, breaking down the Hall H Marvel panel. If you saw us streaming earlier, you didn't actually see us streaming earlier. That wasn't us. That was a totally different team of people. And those guys,
That
those
was so bad.
those fucking guys.
I
I tell you.
don't know who those guys were.
Tell you what, I don't know who they were, but that was a terrible live stream. But I'm glad while I'm here with all of these awesome people. Let's introduce everyone again. I'm for the first time. Over here to my left, the former head of gaming until he kicked the power thing and ruined our first stream. Angela Everett. Angela, how you doing?
Feeling great. Good first day here.
Awesome. Good. We've also had Ken Cologne above me, the meme master, the social media guru. Ken, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm good. I can hear you this time.
This is good. This is good. And then, of course, we've got up there Al Schuler, executive producer Al Schuler. How are you doing?
Man, I'm good. I'm good. What's going on, people?
All right, guys. So since we're talking Hall H here, craziness stuff. I think when last we left our heroes, we were discussing Shang Chi. So we'll start with Shang Chi on this stream, and then we'll maybe circle back to some Doctor Strange stuff. We got to because it's in the thumbnail, and I deleted that other video. So Shang Chi,
Yes.
incredible stuff. The last thing that we were talking about was the fact that the Mandarin could likely be Shang-Chi's father. And the thing that was crazy about that is that Kevin Feige, from just an AMA answer on Reddit, literally allowed the Marvel community to have this little morsel of theory crafting stuff. And they literally took it the whole way to knowing that Shang-Chi, that the Mandarin was going to be in Shang-Chi, and that the Mandarin was going to be the villain, and also likely to be Shang-Chi's dad. Angelo, what do you think about this? Do you think that would be dope?
I think it'd be crazy. Yeah, like having Shang-Chi as his dad. Like it would open up so many different things with the family tropes. Just like his sister in the comics, they're also enemies. She's like an anti-hero sort of deal. She's not really a villain, so to speak. So that can open up a lot of different storylines between the whole family.
Right.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Right. I think that was part of the whole deal when people were speculating about it. I think particularly because of the sister, I think that was a big deal. I mean, Al, you're a fan of this, right? What do you think, man? Shang-Chi, the Mandarin, pretty hype stuff.
Oh yeah, man. I think he's definitely gonna end up being the dad. Excuse me. But yeah, man, it's gonna be crazy. Like the fact that they're kind of tying this in, and like you said, Feige dude, he just keeps hitting it out of the ballpark, bro. Like every breadcrumb he dropped, there's like plan after plan. The man's got like plan A through like AZ is crazy. It's like I'm just too pumped.
Yeah, man. It's crazy. Like and Ken, I want to shift gears and ask you this, man. What do you think about a kung fu movie in the MCU? I mean, stylistically, that sounds really cool, but how can they make Shang-Chi? Because one of the things I think that Iron Fist failed at was using the kung fu in a way, and particularly the power of the Iron Fist, to allow it to be cinematically awesome visually. So what do you think about kung fu and Shang-Chi? What do you think about that?
I mean, a kung fu MCU movie just sounds like the dopest shit of all time. Like I can't even.
Yeah, man.
That's just I've just been so excited about it, and Iron Fist was a kind of hit or miss for a lot of people, mostly miss. But I think with it being done kind of more closely in the MCU now, like actually formally part of the MCU, like under Marvel Studios, I think it'll be, the kung fu will be handled right this time, and I'm super excited to kind of see where this goes. Because I really can't think of anything cooler than combining kind of classic kung fu movies with kind of what we've been getting in the MCU lately.
Absolutely. I mean, and I've heard too that Marvel shoots a lot of their action sequences with the same like crew and sort of almost like director of a B unit. So you can expect a lot of the same types of action that we've seen in a lot of these movies. Chat, if you guys could let us know, did they announce yet who's going to be handling the action in Shang-Chi? Because I feel like they did bring in a choreographer or someone like that, but I can't exactly remember. Let us know in chat about that. So as far as the Shang-Chi thing, I think this movie's going to be huge for the MCU in a lot of different ways. China specifically is a huge marketplace that has been very kind to Marvel, and Marvel is doing a particularly good job of having a lot of Chinese talent and working specifically on this film, much like what they did with Black Panther, where they had a lot of like black excellence and a lot of, you know, amazing black creatives working on that movie. It seems to be the same thing with what they're doing in Shang-Chi, and I think that's going to play huge in China. Like, I think this movie is almost a lock for the $1 billion club, even if like the North American audience doesn't necessarily embrace it the way that it has some other movies. Angela, what do you think about that? Do you think that's true?
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, and I think they're gonna be like very appropriate about how they handle this and everything else. Like,
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Yeah, they're gonna definitely do a good job with that kind of thing. What's the guy's name, Al? That's doing the that's the lead, and what has he just been in? We have his IMDb up?
No, let me check though. Hold on.
Because I saw that it was announced, but I don't think it was one of the guys that was the front runner? It was either the Power Rangers guy, or then there was the guy that I'm not really familiar with. Simu Liu?
Did he work with Brie Larson a lot?
Oh, okay. Is that guy? That he
I think he works with a couple
Okay.
of films.
Okay. Okay, people are saying he's awesome. He hasn't been in much. It's not the Power Rangers guy.
There's a something 12. What's that movie? It's something.
That was Ludi Lin. Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah. He's Canadian? He's Canadian. I don't even know if that's true. Yeah, so I'm pumped. I'm pumped for Shang-Chi. That seems cool. Let's circle back into, for the first time this evening, talking about Doctor Strange a little bit, guys. So when I saw this, was the most mind-blowing thing to me. Like, frankly, multiverse of madness, right? Is that what it's called? In the multiverse of madness? Into the multiverse of madness?
In the Multiverse of Madness, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. So immediately, and we know now that Nightmare is confirmed to be the villain, right? So Nightmare as the villain, the Wanda Vision series ties into this movie, which is dope. Yeah. Yeah, like, what do you guys think about this? This captured my imagination more than anything else that they announced. That's for me. That's what this was. Ken, what do you think, man? What does your imagination go with madness, multiverse, Doc Strange, Scarlet Witch? What are you thinking?
Dude, like, before it was announced, I was kind of neutral on the Doctor Strange sequel. Like, I would definitely go watch it, but it wasn't like what I was looking forward to most. Kind of anticipating the panel, but holy crap! Like, after the panel, like that's the one thing I remember most. Like, I'm just so excited. Like, to see some horror elements kind of more in the MCU, and Nightmare is just the perfect villain for. And having Scarlet Witch in the mix just sounds awesome. I'm thinking we'll probably get some kind of House of M elements kind of thrown in there, and especially with with it tying into WandaVision, that's just a really cool thing to explore. So just super pumped about this.
Definitely, definitely agree. Particularly with the horror element. Scott Derrickson, the horror guy, and I said this before, but I really do believe that he sort of played it a little more safe with the horror elements in the first Doctor Strange. I was really anticipating a little bit more horror stuff in that movie, but now, particularly with Nightmare, you can do all sorts of really scary stuff. Yeah. I'm actually not the biggest fan of scary movies because I jump scare very easily. I'm not that great into it, okay? But of course I'm going to check out Doctor Strange too, and I'm looking forward to the horror elements sort of sprinkled throughout. How dark do you think this movie's gonna go? Does anybody think that this movie could really like push it? Like, are we gonna push towards R here at all, or is this gonna be pretty?
Mm.
I mean, like,
No, I don't think it's gonna go R because
oh no, no, no,
the Doctor Strange kind of the movie itself. When you look at the first, it wasn't so much of a I would say a kid movie as it was more, uh, I guess light on. It could have gone, I guess, a little further in terms of dark. I mean, they could have touched on some really crazy stuff, and they kind of stayed away from it. So I think the second movie they'll probably push the envelope a little bit, but that one
no.
being
Yeah.
going that far dark, or I don't see it with Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
I,
What do you think,
I,
man?
I think they really will push it this time because
Hmm.
they didn't push it as much in the first one. I think they're really gonna go for it with so much that's happened in the universe. Like, I think that I think they should. For me, like I want them to,
Yeah.
and it's just like it'll be a really good expansion.
I definitely wouldn't be bummed if they did push it, and I think they've earned it, right? I think they're at a weird place where they have kind of earned that, and they're really good at genre filmmaking and also genre blending. So I don't necessarily think they'll go R, but I do hope they push it. I hope there's literally the scariest moments in the MCU, which actually is really interesting. And I want to know, actually, just because my mind goes here, what do you guys think is the scariest scene in the MCU? And I open that up to chat too. If you guys could let me know, what do you think the scariest scene? Because I would say, honestly, the Mysterio scene in Far From Home, kind of with slight spoilers, I guess, but with the ode to the Marvel zombies, that was pretty scary. But that's pretty much all I can think of. What about you
Yeah,
guys? You got something?
I'm trying to process. I can't think of anything either. Anything other than that one.
Yeah, I'd have to say
Yeah.
Far From Home illusion. Yeah, people are saying illusion. Age of Ultron scene where everyone's dead. That's pretty scary. That's a good one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Decapitated Thanos. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Those are some good choices. I would say there's definitely a lot of room for some true horror in there. Um, here's another question. I want to open this up. Do we think here? What's another really interesting aspect of this whole thing is that it's after Avengers Endgame. Strange now knows. Like I love this idea that because of the events of Endgame and the blip and the snap and basically them just getting their asses handed them by Thanos, that a lot of these people now are going to try to recalibrate. They're going to try to get more powerful,
Yeah.
seek more power. Is Doctor Strange out there seeking more power? Is there like another threat out there that he's trying to close down? Is he trying to stop Wanda from destroying reality? Basically, I think it's really cool that as a backdrop to that film, you might have a different Doctor Strange. One of the best things in this whole, the MCU is the character development. How do you guys think, and I want to start with Al, how do you think Stephen Strange might be changed as a character after all of that he has seen?
Yeah, I think first I want to touch on the power part of it though.
Yeah.
Because I think where we're gonna definitely see that his powers have grown, but I think that's actually been in play since the days since the first movie with Dormammu and the mini and him going through all of those multiple the basically those infinite number of kind of resets with him in the time loop, and then also the whole 14 million possibilities and everything that he's seen and all the different iterations and different possibilities. I feel like his knowledge and his power has just grown, and we just haven't seen it yet. So I think he's gonna have to call on that in this next movie, and that's when we're gonna kind of see it. And as a person and kind of how he's grown character wise, I think what we're gonna see is a even he's gonna double down kind of on the seriousness. Like he's gonna be that Avenger or that the one hero that's like, look, the shit's not a game. Like
Yeah.
gotta be we gotta always be on guard because at any given moment anything could change, and he's gonna have seen it already, I think. And so that's where
Yeah.
you're gonna see that growth from him in terms of him all, and then also kind of feeling the obligation of kind of taking that role that Tony took in terms of
Right.
kind of having to come up with the solution almost, so to speak, and being the one to kind of pull everybody together and give them the plan. and I think we'll see him kind of grow in that role also.
Yeah. Ken, I want to go to you next. One of the things that Al just made me think of is the fact that Strange will owe Stark a pretty big debt, right? And I think he might have a new appreciation for the Avengers and just in general for heroes. So, do you think that that will affect him at all? You know what I mean? Will there be Stark hanging over that film even similarly to the way that he hangs over Far From Home? What do you think?
Yeah, maybe, and maybe it'll, with Wanda being in it, maybe one of the things that will kind of change about him going forward is he'll want to kind of train more of the younger Avengers, and like especially with Wanda, because as she kind of increasingly taps into more and more of her power, like we saw her almost rip Thanos in half, and
Yep.
in a game, I feel like Doctor Strange may be able to kind of mentor her, especially to kind of looking at some of maybe like the more mystical kind of sides of her powers, since we haven't really seen that in the MCU so far. So maybe I think that might be a way. Tony might kind of leave an impression on Strange, kind of, not quite having the same relationship as like a, Tony and Peter type relationship, but maybe that's what we'll kind of
Yeah.
start trying to develop.
No, I like that a lot. Somebody just said in chat that Spider-Man 3 is confirmed for 2021. If somebody could confirm that for us, that would be awesome. Yeah, as far as the Doctor Strange things goes, man, yeah, I think that those are really good points and just cool. It's so cool that like we get this character at this point, and we're doing something really dope with Nightmare and you know what I mean, like the bombastic comic book stuff. But I think part of the reason that it works, and part of the reasons why lies, you're a liar. There's no Spider-Man 3. Part of the reason that I think this whole thing works is because it's really about the characters, right? It's really like it's kind of almost has a soap opera aspect where you really want to see how your favorite character is going to respond to these situations. Yeah. So it's cool that we get Doctor Strange at the point that he's at with all this external stuff, the Tony Stark stuff, the Endgame stuff, the fact that he saw 14 million different outcomes, and that he knows he has to up his game. You know what I mean? And that he has to up his game. So let's talk Loki for a second here. I saw someone in chat says I think it's really cool.
Adventures of Loki.
Well, Loki takes place after the multiverse thing with Doctor Strange. And so is there some tying in there? They didn't say anything to that effect. I don't believe so. But is it possible that we get a tie-in between Loki and Doc Strange in the multiverse? Gila, what do you think?
Ooh, that's tricky right there. I mean, it's possible. I with Disney Plus, the thing is, what I'd love, and I'm a sucker for continuity with like WandaVision. They have like these tie-ins into these movies, so you could totally have that possibility. Like Loki's on his own.
Yeah,
he's on his own with a cosmic cube.
I know that's another weird aspect. Yeah,
he's getting into some shenanigans.
He's definitely getting into some shenanigans. I wonder, Al, what do you think? Will we see even a post-credit tie-in between the Doctor Strange movie and the Loki series? Are we going to start seeing tie-ins between Disney Plus and the MCU? I mean, it's set up like the phase, right?
I think that's Kevin Feige's whole purpose of doing it, man. What he's figured out, or what he's trying to figure out, and what they're laying down is brilliant, because what he's doing is they're gonna lay these breadcrumbs for us hardcore nerds in these shows, and it's gonna be up to us to kind of put and piece these things together. And so I think taking it a step further, we could see Loki kind of interwoven through multiple movies to kind of tie into the show. And it's like, holy crap, that episode is an extension of what happened in such and such movie. And they kind of, you see him, because I'm kind of picturing the whole Loki story, or the show, is him kind of hopping in and out of these different places in time and affecting the timeline in different ways, creating maybe splintered realities and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So imagine, a scene in Doctor Strange where he confronts Loki and tells him he knows he's been screwing around, and
right.
he knows, and kind of taking it from there. Or even Loki having a run in with Nightmare before Strange does, and so he comes and he lets him know, hey, look, dude, this dude's on his way, or something like that. But yeah, I think all of the Disney Plus shows are going to have very significant tie-ins into every movie going forward.
Yeah, man.
I'd bet on it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the plan, dude. I mean, it's just, and it seems like it's working so well. Definitely a mystic thing going on here. Now let's talk about Blade. Let's talk about
Yes.
Blade. So we
Yeah.
already, it's so crazy that we were literally I think it was literally, Wednesday or Thursday of this week where I did the show. We're doing, or no, it was this morning. We're doing a live stream. We're doing predictions, and somebody asked me about who, literally Marshall Ali being the Blade, and I'm like, what? And then it actually gets confirmed. This is absolutely crazy. He is an amazing actor. Incredible props to Marvel for getting another one. You know what I mean? Crazy stuff. Did they say, let us know in chat, guys, did they say what movie that Blade character is going to be in? Because what I heard is just that he's going to be in a movie. Because I don't think they said particularly what movie he's going to be in.
They showed off the Blade logo.
How many
Yeah.
years
I think
is he
it's-
signed for?
So wait a minute. Do you think we think they're actually doing a Blade movie?
That's what I kind of just assumed.
I thought they were going to put homie in another movie.
No, I would be willing to bet Blade's
Okay,
either
so it
getting a
could be
solo
a show
movie,
or a movie is what.
or a show. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Well, let's go around.
That's-
What would you even prefer? And just what would you prefer, show or movie? And then what do you think about it? Gila, what do you think?
Longer. Oh, a show would last so long, and he's such a great actor.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I would actually prefer the show. The amount of effort they're putting into Disney Plus, again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If they're putting the money behind it, if the production is there, then yeah. I mean, more is more. Al, what do you think? Show, movie, and what are your thoughts?
You got to give Marshall Ali he has to have a series. You've got to give him time to stretch that character out to build him up. I mean, I don't know, how many people actually checked out that first season of Luke Cage when dude was Cottonmouth.
He's the best part of
stole
it.
the entire series. Like he stole that entire series.
He's
man.
so good
it's
in that
like,
show that when they killed him off way too soon, it killed the show for me. It killed the show for me because
Yes, it did.
Mariah's a cool
Fact.
character, but she is no Cottonmouth. Not even close.
Oh no,
Not even close.
No way.
Sorry, go ahead.
No way.
Sorry.
No. You like you said, you spot on, bro. Like it's crazy. You have to give him a show because I would love to see them kind of build the Blade character out, explain kind of his motivation, show him in different conflicts and things like that. Then you take that character and you plug him into some of these other movies. You can kind of tag team him up in other different places and things like that. Maybe bring him into the Strange movie somehow. But no, he needs to have that. Please, fingers crossed this man gets a show.
Interesting. Ken, you're the last one. What do you think, show or movie? And then talk to me a little bit about Blade. And also, I want to point out, Angela and I seem to have the same Han Solo and Chewbacca poster in our obviously separate recording locations. Sorry, go ahead, Ken. Take it from, Blade.
I agree with everyone so far. TV show for sure. It's more time with the Blade character. Honestly, that would just be awesome. It was actually kind of funny. I just retweeted it. We tweeted last month about Mahershala Ali being a good Blade.
Yeah.
And then
Mm-hmm.
and then it happened.
That's crazy, right?
I'm super excited. He's
They took your
incredible
advice,
actor.
man.
Want to see more time with him, so I'm in favor.
Yeah, I'm hype as hell on this. I was kind of pulling for
yes.
Wesley. I just like the old school. I like Wesley Snipes. But if you were gonna get someone else, this guy gets me very excited. I mean, he's just, his range is incredible. In the second season, or maybe no, it's the third season of True Detective, he plays 3 different versions of himself. He plays young, middle-aged, and old, and he absolutely crushes it. And they're dynamic. They're weirdly similar, but dynamic performances. Dude's got incredible range. And obviously, as we get more and more about who's the creatives involved here, but guys, is it just me, or between Vision and Scarlet Witch tying into a Doctor Strange movie called madness of multiverse, and the fact that then you're doing Loki jumping around the multiverse, and you get Blade. Is this not? Does this not have some flavor of some mystic arts, kind of supernatural? Like, doesn't that kind of feel
Yep.
almost like the subplot, if you will, of what's going on here?
Yeah.
I mean, and that
Definitely.
wasn't really something that people like. That's not something that we were talking about. That's not something that
No.
the leakers were on about. You know what I mean? And obviously, with you got Black Widow and the Eternals, those are not really supernatural. But then we're gonna get pretty supernatural pretty quick. That's
Well, think about going back and tying into oh god, his name slips me, but they were talking about the guy who plays Hank Pym. Can't think of his name right now, but how he was saying the quantum realm was going to have a
yes,
huge thing,
Yeah.
have a huge to do with the next phase, and we were all thinking about it from the multiverse kind of Secret Wars tie-in, but the flip side of that would totally be Strange and the quantum realm and all and the multiverse and just that and that leading to and one of the things I thought about too with the Doctor Strange movie is what if that movie's not necessarily a Doctor Strange solo film, but they do that kind of in the vein of a Civil War,
right.
where it is that ensemble movie where it's everyone, but it's Doctor Strange kind of driving the movie forward. Like that could be an event movie
Yep.
Yeah.
in itself. So yeah, man, the possibilities are crazy, man.
Yeah. I'm super hyped on that. I would love for it to go down just like that, dude. Ah, that would be some amazing stuff. Okay, let's shift into some Thor talk here for a second. So this was another announcement that to me really blew me away for a number of different reasons, but it's it's just so wild that they signed Taika Waititi to do Thor 4. It must mean they already had Thor 4 in development, right? They already were talking about that. Chris Hemsworth was kind of coy in some interviews. I remember he was asked about his contract and stuff. He's like, I don't know. If Marvel wants me back, I'd love to be back and stuff like that. And then we get the announcement of Taika before Comic-Con. They signed that deal right before Comic-Con. They probably signed it before that, you know what I mean? But they plan it to come in, and then you ride the hype right into the announcement of Thor and Jane, Natalie Portman coming back, reprising her role. What's the subtitle on that movie, guys? Because I think it has love in the word,
Love
right?
Love and Thunder.
Love and Thunder. Damn, that sounds dope.
Yeah.
Get me a Love and Thunder shirt right now. That's really
Dude,
cool.
Oh, it makes for a dope shirt.
It does. I mean, in the marketing, I loved how metal the marketing was, and like
Yeah.
80s D&D metal,
Yeah.
like that kind of stuff
I'm-
for
it
Ragnarok.
glows.
Yeah.
It really played well for them in Ragnarok. Like, and I loved it.
And if they do something similar, you know what I mean,
Oh, yeah.
for this next one, just uh, I'm getting some good vibes on it, man. Al, what do you think about Natalie Portman coming back for this movie? Has the Marvel Cinematic Universe just gotten to a point where these actors that used to say, "Hey, I'm one and done," or "Hey, this isn't really working for me," has the Marvel Cinematic Universe got to this point where even the biggest of the big is like, "Yeah, this is good for me. I do want to be a
Yeah.
part of this."
I think so, man. I think it's at that point now where getting in on the MCU is the thing, whether it necessarily kind of let's say your cup of tea or not. Hell, agents are telling you, look, if you want to get in, this is where it's at. And I mean, I don't know, necessarily the deal with Natalie Portman and kind of her reluctance up until this point, but the fact that she's coming back and they're going to do the Lady Thor and Taika Waititi's doing it, dude, like you couldn't ask for a better way for this to be introduced.
Yeah.
It's going to flow perfect, and it's the perfect thing for kind of taking Thor's angle as we saw or left off in Endgame and seeing the next step. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like bringing it back full circle that way. Like, dude, it's going to be crazy. And yeah, I can't wait. But yeah, Natalie being involved, dude, that just speaks to how big the MCU has become, and it being that marquee destination for Hollywood, actors and actresses that are looking to kind of make it and hit big and cash in on those checks.
Yeah, right. So I saw a couple of interesting things in chat right here. So I saw Nick Sefik says Portman was pissed that they fired the female director in Thor 2, but that's not true. The female director in Thor 2 was going to be Wonder Woman lady. How am I missing what's her name? She's in Blade, director of Wonder Woman. And she actually passed on that film. She passed on that herself. Marvel did not fire her from that. And then I saw that Natalie Portman might have told them that the only way she would come back is if she was Thor. Patty Jenkins, thank you, Amy. Yeah, so Patty Jenkins actually, it's an interesting story about that. She actually thought it was sort of a weird dynamic thing that happened, but she passed on that movie because she had some disagreements with the script, but she's actually come out more recently and said that it was because she didn't want this movie to fail and have a female director at its helm, because that would have created a bad narrative out there, and she saw the writing on the wall. Like, if you guys remember, Thor 2 was actually had a lot of controversy in it. I believe there was like a couple of things that happened with the script. The couple directors shifted around. It was like turmoil, right? And Patty was being approached at this, and she backed off of it because she didn't want that kind of a thing to happen, unless I'm mistaken. That's what I've heard. But Ken, let me ask you this. Do you think Natalie Portman did indeed tell Marvel that she did not want to come back unless she was Thor? Do you think so?
I haven't heard that until right now. I mean, so I don't know. I would need to like read up kind of more on what the kind of facts were about like what she said at the time. I don't know. Yeah,
I mean, it's possible.
I really don't know.
It's possible she could have. I mean, the thing is, she doesn't strike me as the type of person that would do that. But then again, Henry Cavill doesn't strike me as the kind of dude that's tough to work with. And apparently, behind the scenes, Henry Cavill is very tough to work with. You know what I mean? So you never really know, I guess, right? Dang, if she did do that, she played her cards pretty well. Because I can't think of a better way to embrace her. Like, if they would have done it, I'm sorry. Al's just right. Like, it's just the perfect way to do it. Tyke is the perfect guy for it. You know what I mean? They have the trust. Yeah. It's the perfect way to do it.
And I don't necessarily think she. I don't really buy her going in and demanding it, because my thing is, what incentive would Kevin Feige and Marvel have to get cave in, unless that was something they already were kind of thinking, or direction they were thinking of going in anyway. I mean,
yeah,
I can see, the value of bringing her back and kind of further progressing her story, but for me, I just feel like it's an opportunity where she sees kind of where it's going. Maybe she did have some requirements in terms of maybe she wanted more of a prominent role instead of just kind of being the sidekick or the damsel in distress or something like that.
Yeah.
But no, I don't necessarily see her going in and saying, "Look, I got to be Lady Thor or I'm off." Because if I'm Kevin Feige, I'm like, "Well, kick rocks."
Yeah. Well, also too, I think that it could be a situation, and obviously we're just speculating here, but it could be a situation where she did sign contract, and Feige was like, "No, but not yet," because that's what he kind of did with Nick Fury. So for a while, Sam Jackson was signed to this big contract, and they had him sit out a bunch of films, including Black Panther. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but Sam Jackson was pissed that he wasn't in Black Panther. He was like, "How are you going to make this all black?" Yeah, he was pissed, right? But in either case, Feige's plan was save those films for later. 2019 is the year of Fury, and Fury's in all three of these movies this year. Do you know what I mean? And so, like, boom, 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 he knocked it out. So it's possible that this was a part of Marvel's plan, not necessarily Natalie Portman's fan. Like Ken said, I don't really know what she even said back then. It's, I mean, we could look into that, and even then, actors say things, right? Who knows, right? So I think the last thing we're going to go on here, guys, is I want to talk about this What If movie, or the What If series on Disney Plus. Now, they could do literally anything. So what do you guys think they could do? Is there a comic book story you would want them to do? Is there an Elseworld that you would want them to do? And I'm opening this up to the chat too. Let us know in chat, guys. What do you think? Is there something you would want in the What If slot? For me, I'll start and I'll talk about a couple of different things. Number one, this popped into my head immediately, and I really hope it's not this. What if Dark Avengers is the what if.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
Oh,
And that
yeah.
and you're reacting exactly the way that I'm reacting because my thing is like,
It'd be a great
yeah.
episode, but such a
I'm
great
like
disappointment.
like
That
Oh,
yeah,
my
boo, no, yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's almost as bad as making scrolls good guys, man.
Yeah, for real, for real.
That's
I
like-
caught a lot of heat for being mad about that too, by the way. The internet loves it
I'm
when you're
saying,
negative
it's-
until you're too negative. Whatever, guys. Get out of my face. Ken, take it away.
Oh, like for the What If series,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
about Skrulls being good guys.
Well, I mean, if we could talk about
Skrulls I was
scrolls.
cool with.
Well,
Uh,
yeah. I've come around to it. I've come around. Talos is cool, but yeah. What do you think of What If? Is there something that you're thinking about with that?
Yeah, I would love to see like an Age of Ultron, like closer to the comic Age of Ultron
Ooh.
event.
Yeah.
Like if Ultron won,
Yep.
but like that would be a cool what if. Because like honestly, like Ultron's one of my favorite villains from the comics, and like I didn't dislike Age of Ultron as much as a lot of people did, but
Right.
still, like it would still be awesome to see him come back in some way, and what if would be the perfect way to do it. I think.
Dude, I love that idea. I absolutely love that idea. Angelo, is there anything that you're thinking for What If?
I mean, they already hinted the zombies. Like, I would love that.
Yeah, Marvel Zombies
Yeah,
would be cool.
Yeah, that'd be pretty dope.
Dude, it'd be such a Feige thing because they announced, I don't know if you guys saw this, they announced a live action Walking Dead movie, right?
Yeah.
And Rick Grimes is returning, but only if
Yeah.
you shell out $14, $15 and go see him on the silver screen. And so what if Feige does Marvel Zombies that same year and all the zombie fans are just like, Kirkman, you left Marvel back in the day and you got your 7 jets, but your show ain't that great no mo. And your movie ain't making shit. That'd be really Feige-like. You know what I mean? That'd be really cool.
Oh.
Al, what do you think? You got any crazy Elseworldy ideas? Anything that's popping off to you?
I think the one thing that I thought about was it'd be a crazy idea. We know we've got Captain America with all 6 stones
Ooh.
and Mjolnir.
Ooh.
What if the What If show is basically an animated version of Cap just jumping through the multiverse, doing all kinds of craziness?
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's all kinds of stories and things about possibilities in terms of him going and doing all of these crazy things. And we go and we actually even could explore further like things that have happened in previous MCU movies where we see different takes on it. That was the first thing I thought about was an animated show where they cash in and you can bring in, or you have, if you want to really do it and they're going to be sparing at no expense, bring back Robert Downey Jr. to voice Iron Man in a few episodes. You
Just
can bring back.
voiceovers.
Yep, exactly. Just have them come back and voice the characters, or come back and do kind of whatever you want to because you're Kevin Feige and
Yeah,
everything
man.
that you do it anyway.
Dude,
So,
honestly, I
dude,
mean,
it's
that's
like what can he do?
Yeah. Now, a couple of interesting things. I mean, obviously, I'm changing my answer to Al's answer, and I said it first. But also, is it been confirmed that this is going to be the animated thing? Because I did hear that going into it. Is that confirmed that it's going to be animated?
That's what I was hearing. I don't know if they confirmed it.
Yeah, because I mean, either way, I'm down, right? Like either way, I'm down. But if it is animated, that really, in some weird way, it almost opens it up even more. You know what I mean?
I agree.
You can do
Yeah.
all sorts of craziness, dude. I'd love like the Exiles or something like that. Like I'm really a sucker for Exiles. I really think, and not just the actual Exiles, but like just that concept in the MCU. I think would just be so cool, right? Jumping around, fighting villains throughout different times and spaces. Yeah, that would be really cool. There's also like a lot of cool Elseworld stuff that came out around Jonathan Hickman's Battle World and Secret Wars. So like there was one where Doctor Strange like died, but his astral form, he possessed Frank Castle. And so that was Frank Castle, but he had the powers of the Punisher. And so he's shooting like mystic bullets. You know what I mean? And like just
What?
yeah.
Wow.
He was doing
Okay.
crazy
That's
stuff. I
nuts.
think at one point he turned Hulk into sand or something like that. Like it was just crazy, like the way that it all went down. So something visually cool like that would be dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
dude, the what if? I mean,
It's-
that's just such a cool thing for them to just drop in there like that, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then before they left the stage, I'm pretty sure when something like this, where Feige was like, got like down in one of those like rapper poses, you know what I mean? And he was like, and we didn't even talk about X-Men. We didn't even talk about Fantastic Four, Captain Marvel 2, Black Panther 2. And like everybody's behind him just like, oh, oh, oh.
Hell yeah.
And then just all of them drop the mics and head off stage.
Drop the mic.
I'm pretty sure that's exactly what went down.
Yep.
Yeah.
I see it.
Agreed.
So,
Agreed.
There's pics.
yeah, there's pics somewhere.
Yep.
Give me a couple minutes on Photoshop. We'll whip something up.
We'll get it. We'll make it happen.
Yeah, so just absolute craziness, right? Like it's true though. They drop all this stuff. It's really surprising. I mean, like we've been talking here for a while. Really surprising a lot of this stuff. We can all agree on that. Really, really good at hype building, right? Really excellent. And it's not even X-Men, Fantastic Four, Captain Marvel 2, Black Panther 2. It's not even
Nope.
those things.
Yeah.
Like
That's what's crazy.
yeah, it's absolutely crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Let's just talk final thoughts. Final thoughts on just overall the biggest takeaways and where do we think we go from here? Like, are we going to get anything else at D23? Ken, let's start with you, man. What do you think? Just your overall takeaways from everything before we get out of here.
Yeah, man, I just found myself being so excited for movies I never thought I would be excited for. You know, like honestly, like the Eternals when that was first announced, I was like, who gives a shit? Like,
Right. Yeah.
But like, I don't know, I'm super pumped for it, and like to a lesser extent, like when Shang Chi like was first announced, I thought it was cool. I wasn't like the most excited for it, but like, dude, like when they showed the official logo for it, and just like with the Mandarin being confirmed, like I'm just so hyped. I love how Marvel has this way of like just being able to get you excited about, you know, films that you never thought you would like be excited about. Like Guardians is the perfect example of that. Yeah. But no, just overall just really impressed, and I think of all of them, you know, probably looking forward to Doctor Strange the most, just because it has like just so many crazy possibilities.
I just think it's funny, real quick, before I pass it. One of the things you said there was really interesting to me. It is kind of weirdly true because if you think about like they can't even get Batman and Superman right over the DC. not to throw like super shade, but like I'm being real. Like they can't even nail the most popular comic book characters. Marvel's gonna make Shang-Chi $1 billion movie. Like how is Marvel is getting people hyped about stuff that, like to your point, Ken, they never would have gotten hyped before. It's just okay. It's crazy. So Al, hit me. Your final takeaways. Where do you think we go from here? Are we getting more stuff at D23? Is there more juice? Is there even any more juice to be had? What do you think?
I think so, man. I think the way, you know, the role, I could totally see Kevin Feige dropping even more heat on at D23, man. It's just the MCU does it again, man. Like Kevin Feige just keeps nailing it. He keeps getting it right. He keeps giving the fans what they want. And not to get on the soapbox, but the main thing I keep thinking is this is how the fuck you're supposed to do it, Star Wars.
Yeah.
This is the way it's supposed to work. Get your shit together.
Totally agree.
Today.
Totally agree. Gilo, last takeaways?
Oh man, for me, surprisingly enough, the shows. Dude, I didn't know I'd be a fan of Disney Plus, but knowing the connections to shows and stuff, Sam Wilson coming out with the Cap shield.
Yeah. We didn't even really talk about that, but yeah, that's pretty hype.
I was Team Bucky all the way, but then even that, I have to admit, I'm like, oh man, I'm kind of excited now.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the shows. That is a good point actually. It's crazy. They went ham with Disney Plus.
Yeah.
They went in on that. And the way they're tying it together, I think it's really brilliant, but also like Disney made some of the smartest purchasings ever, buying the Marvel brand, buying Marvel Studios, and keeping Kevin Feige intact. I just think you look at a lot of buyouts and stuff and corporate suit decisions. There's a lot of turmoil out there, a lot of things that can go wrong. This is a crazy example of what can go right, you know? And Marvel is going to sell a lot of Disney Plus subscriptions. I'm personally very excited for Mandalorian, and we're all Star Wars fans here. We're gonna get in on that, but I think that it can't be understated how much Kevin Feige in the MCU and what he's accomplished and the producing over there is going to sell Disney Plus, which really, when you think about the macro of that from a company perspective, the output on that, it's absurd. The guy is so valuable. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
All right, guys, so we're going to call it there. I want to thank every single person that come and hung out with us tonight. A few ups and downs with the streams, like a little bit of bumpy road. You know what I mean?
I apologize for that.
Yeah, D-Lo definitely didn't just kill the first stream by shitting off the power.
It's a powerful kick.
But we made it happen. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, it was a powerful kick. Okay, good. Thanks guys for hanging out, and we're gonna be live streaming tomorrow too. We're gonna be doing some Star Wars stuff, and if you guys are around, hit me up. We can definitely stream again. There's a lot of cool Star Wars stuff to talk about.
Yes,
Like a lot.
yes.
Charles sold Knights of Ren comic book.
Oh my God, yes.
Whew. Man, yeah, there's some hype stuff to talk about as well.
Mhm.
All right, guys, so we are going to get out of here. As I always say, guys, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.